YouTube? Welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we'll be going over the red and blue retro support in Raging Roar Set 3. Bandai has shown that in Fusion World, they really do like to go back and sprinkle some support for some older leaders to make sure they stay relevant or give them another fighting chance in the meta, and it's been pretty cool. Like, Androids literally was risen out of being potentially the worst green leader to the best at this point, pretty much the best, because of a retro card that came out in set 2. So with that being said, we're gonna go over this half of it. Tomorrow we'll do the other half, and right now I should be at Gen Con, I believe, playing in a One Piece event. So if you see me, say hi. I'd love to chat, and I'll do it to the best of my ability. So yeah, let's get this video over 100 likes, and just to let you guys know, we have plenty of articles up on the Patreon for set 3, as well as my deck list for these events going up. And if you'd like a chance to win this top 64 Vegeta, all you gotta do is get on that post and enter. And with that being said, let's get into the content. First up on our docket, we actually have Kaba, and Kaba is a 3-cost 20k 10k combo power like battle card, so same as set 2 Kaba. But he says on play, if your leader is awakened, add up to 1 non-Kaba battle card with a cost of 4 less and tournament power and its special traits from your drop to your hand. Now this is actually really cool. I think it's unfortunate that Top Coup has already seen its incredible demise. Like, Roshi would probably have to come back for Top Coup to be good, or just Kefla. I think we could do without Roshi, but Kefla would need to come off the limit for that deck to be even considered viable again. And this card would be an excellent card because you could get your Keflas back after comboing them. You'd be a lot more flexible with it. This is a pretty cool card. I do like that. I do like that. As it stands, it's kind of dead in the water, unfortunately, because Top Coup is not played. So you're paying 3 to get back something you can't play until next turn. Whereas if Top Coup is here, you can at least play 1 to get this back and then maybe hard cast something. Or you could play Kefla and cheat this out and then get back something. This just, you can tell they made this to be support for Top Coup without realizing they'd have to hurt Top Coup. So that is what it is. Next, you've got this Kefla, because they will do anything and everything but give us a Universe 6 leader. And this card says 3 cost 20k, so yes, another card that you can cheat out with Top Coup or Kefla. And this is on play, choose up to 2 of your battle cards with Universe 6 and their special traits, and they get plus 5k power for the turn. This will be pretty crazy. This would turn SR Kefla into a 30k. It would turn Gohan into another 30k like this. Well, not Gohan, this is Universe 6. So it turned Kefla and itself pretty much into a 25k and a 35k. So this is actually pretty cool. It's weird that it says Universe 6 instead of TOP, but it is what it is. One day we'll get a Universe 6 leader and it'll all make sense. I'm sure of it. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it's like some special pack. Now this is generic, but it definitely works better with some leaders than others. This is the Son Goku, 3 cost 25k 5k combo power. When attacking, if there's a battle card with 30,000 power or more, draw a card. And so you're always going to be able to have this effect on himself if you're playing U7 Goku. He gives the static 5k when he's awakened to Universe 7, so this guy will automatically be 30k whenever it's your turn, and you'll attack and just draw a card. This may be low-key some of the best direct support, as simple as it is, to a deck in a bit. Every time you tap 3 and attack, this is going to swing for 30k, which is some good pressure, and it's going to draw you a card. And as a 25k body, you have an actual chance of defending it from harm's way. But its 3-cost stat line is going to get it bullied by quite a few things. Yellow can tap it down, but yellow's a favored matchup anyway. Green can blow it up easily, black can actually blow it up easily, and blue will be able to bottom deck it. Red, it's a toss-up, but they're getting more and more cards that just target 25ks now, so it is what it is. But this is a pretty good card in general. Now this is actually pretty funny too. We have a 2-cost 20k power 5k combo power hit, tournament of power, meaning it can be played off of Kefla, but Kefla is not, like, it's at 1. When attacking, if your leader is awakened during this turn, the next time you use an extra card with a cost of 3 or less and Universe 6 and its special traits from your hand, you don't have to pay the cost. So this means that you can play time skip essentially for free. So you attack, and then you can use time skip to get rid of 30,000 powers worth of battle cards. That's powerful. Honestly, that's powerful. I think it's 35k, something like that. It's really strong, and I like how interesting this card is. But again, we need a U6 leader and Kefla to be unbanned, because right now, or unlimited, because right now they just released a lot of support that just kind of goes out into the aether. Now this one is actually pretty cool. We're over here at Beerus, and Beerus is just a 3-cost 20k power card, 10,000 combo power. It says on play, add a card from your life to your hand, and then activate main. One, if this leader card is in its owner's drop, if your leader has God of Destruction, or place this card in its owner's drop, if your leader has God of Destruction in its special traits, play it to 1 Beerus with 35k power from your hand. Not only does this potentially open up a way for a future 35k power Beerus, but this allows you to cheat the SR Beerus onto the board and blow up. Now, the thing about this is you have to understand right now the only God of Destruction we have is Beerus. Could be more later, but right now it's just Beerus, and Beerus already has an early game hand issue. So when you play this game on, or play this card on turn 3 and hope it survives, that's one thing. If you play it on turn 4, get a swing out of it, then activate its ability, play out the Beerus from your hand, then activate Beerus's ability and discard a card, you just went tap 4, neg 3 to get out this effect. And sometimes that's what you need. This is going to allow you to self-awaken easily. Hopefully you can awaken that turn, and then on top of being able to take a card from your life to offset it, so I guess it's technically a -2 because this card replaces himself on play. Then you play the Beerus, that's a -1, then you minus the card from your hand, so that's a -2. It's still going to allow you to accelerate the Beerus play, and I think that's going to be very, very good. And also being a 10k, I can't see why you wouldn't just play 4 of these in the Beerus deck, just to have the option to turbo into Beerus if need be. Next we got Vegeta, and this is a generic card, but also it is Tournament of Power, and it's a 3-cost 20k, so it can be cheated out by both Goku as the leader as well as Kefla. But realistically, we've already pretty much known what this card has done for a while. When attacking, discard 2 cards from your hand until the end of your opponent's turn. This card cannot be KO'd and gains plus 30k power. And then activate main once per turn. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO it, then KO this card. The first effect is going to prevent him from being destroyed by his own second effect, and the cool thing is comboing 2 cards was never going to get you to 50k. That's just not how the math works. It would have gotten you to 40k at most, unless one of them was an extra card, and that's more energy. But the funny part is you could play this out like in Top Coup for 1 energy, and then turn it sideways, discard 2 cards that may have been 0s or 5s, go up to 5 or 50k, and then you could play Glimpse on it and Glimpse on it. So it's not the double strike the River Gan was, but this is definitely supposed to be a game finisher. And I dig that, this next card is actually awesome. It's the greatest showdown of all time. It's 5. Now, when I say awesome, I like the flavor. I don't think it's competitive, at least not right now, unless we have some sort of cost reduction later. But currently, you tap 5 and you can bring out a card. Choose up one of your opponent's battle cards and gains -20k for the turn, then play out 1 battle card with a cost 4 or less in Universe and its special traits. I put it under retro support because not only is it going to be a card that can cheat out 4-drop SR Jiren, but this can also cheat out 4-drop SCR Ultra Instinct Goku. Both characters on the card can be played out with this card, and I think that is pretty cool. So with that being said, we are going to go have a special little note from our sponsors, and like I said, I'm at Gen Con, my sponsors are at Gen Con, so maybe find us. Eden is buying any and every prize card you could win from the events going on today, so make sure you drop by them if you want to cash out. But let's hear it from them real quick. Alright y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG product, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. Then you have Eclipse Cards and Hobby based out of Texas, and if that sounds familiar, they did sponsor me with a box of Fusion World Set 1. But as you can see on this page, there is a plethora of TCG products that they are actually having for sale at their establishment. You can also even buy things that aren't just TCG products. As you can see on the screen right here, they hold their own locals, they hold their own events, and they are going out to more and more events. You can actually check their Facebook to see their schedule, as well as call and ask about their vending list. And at the checkout for their website, you can use the code UNI10X to actually get percentages off your pre-orders or your orders. So go check it out as well. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X. So you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always go down to any description on any video and find my Amazon affiliate links. These products here will differ from video to video to cater to the audience in question, but it's just very easy to see something that you may like or be interested in, open it up and choose the style and or color that'll work for you. All proceeds will give kickbacks to the channel, so there'll be some direct support, and I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. As always, pretty cool if I don't say so myself. If you want to support me in a different way, you can always go over in the description, check out UniXDB. I do just Dragon Ball and general content there. Soon we're going to start revving into Daima, but right now it's mostly Dokkan, Legends, Sparking Zero, yada yada. So with that being said, let's get back to the content. Next card in our docket is Videl. Videl says when attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, add up to 1 non-blue Videl card with a cost of 3 or less an Earthling from special trace to drop to your hand. We talked about this card before. The reason why I call it retro is because outside of Trunks, every blue deck had to be particular on how it played its P-Loss. This card goes back and allows you to recycle P-Loss without needing to have a P-Loss in hand, while being able to get neutral damage in on all non-25k leaders. So I do think this is sort of retro support. It does allow you to play a little bit more freely, albeit being a 0 cost or 0 combo card, making it a little more rough to justify slotting it in. But I do think this is a card that does support every single deck in blue as a whole, not just maybe 1 or 2. Moving on to something a little more specific, we have got the Trunks Future card. He's a 2 cost, 20,000 power Trunks, and he has also got a 5k combo power. Activate main, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, the cost of 2 or less, and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck, then place this card at the bottom of its owner's deck. So there's a couple things here. One, blue is the level manipulation color. If you have Vegito on board, you're going to be able to play this in bottom deck a 3-drop. If you have 2 Vegetos on board somehow, you're going to be able to bottom deck a 4-drop. And then because of the way this is, you're going to be able to combo it with Time Machine to replay it from the bottom of your deck to be able to cause more removal shenanigans. So this is actually pretty cool. The other thing that's really, really awesome about this card is that unlike the Trunks that goes to the bottom of your deck at the end of the turn that it's been used, this is an activate main. So you can attack with it for 20,000, bottom deck him, then activate Time Machine, swing for 20,000 again, bottom deck him again, then activate Time Machine, swing for 20k, bottom deck him again. You could potentially rob a yellow deck of its entire board while swinging multiple times just by having like multiple iterations of Time Machine or Time Machine and Peel Off. So I think this card is actually really, really cool and really, really trying to border on showing you how hard Trunks is capable of comboing with that Time Machine scheme. Next, we have Mighty Mask. This is pretty obvious and straightforward on how it hits its support, but Mighty Mask is really just able to come through and be Trunks or Goten, meaning that you don't have to play filler, because before it's like, oh, I've got a good Trunks and a bad Goten, or I've got a good Goten and a okay Trunks and a 5k Trunks for drawing. Nope, if you have 2 Mighty Masks in your trash or in your drop, you can play Gotenks and take up 1 Mighty Mask as the Trunks half, 1 Mighty Mask as the Goten half. And that is actually going to be the coolest part about this card. You're going to always be able to bring up 10Ks no matter what, and that's going to be a huge change of momentum when it comes to what you're able to do with those Gotenks plays and the combo power that you're able to loop. Now, the next card that we have here is indeed your Beerus, and this is a little bit more loose. Like, yes, you can use this in any blue deck, but right now it's 2 cost, 20k power. On play, choose up to one of your battle cards, the cost of 3 or more, and KO it. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you draw 2 cards. This is going to allow you to actually trigger a couple of cards. Like, we had a Zamasu that scales up to a larger Zamasu, but we had no way of triggering that. Your opponent wasn't going to kill it. Your opponent wasn't going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, let me swing into that, combo up to like this amount so you can cheat out your Zamasu. No, they were never going to do that. So that being said, you now have a way to pay 2, like swing with that card, pay 2, play this, pop it, draw 2 cards, and then play out your card. So yeah, so this is going to be pretty cool. I think that this could breathe some life into some decks, and when we see more cards on KO, then you're going to be able to always have an outlet to blow it up. So not only does this kind of help those Zamasu chains like kind of come out, but I think this can always be looked at depending on what cards we get, especially when we start mixing colors. Like if we ever have a green blue deck, then this card would instantaneously be able to trigger a lot of your triggers. Now next, this is another one of those generic retro spoilers, or generic retro supports, but you have this Bulma. This Bulma is a 1 cost 5k power and 10k combo power. Activate main once per turn, discard 1 card from your hand. At the end of the turn, draw 1 card. This is a vanishing effect, okay? And what I mean by this is you play her out and you go down 1 card. Like let's say you're at 9 cards in, or you're at 10 cards in hand, right? Think about it this way, you charge 1, you're at 9. You play Bulma, okay, Cat. You play Bulma, you're at 8. You activate Bulma's effect, you discard down to 7. Now all of your 7 cost effects are live, and then at the end of the turn, you draw 1 card. So depending on what you're doing, like let's just talk about the Goku, right? You could literally do something as silly as you have the Bulma out, right? And you have 10 cards, or you have the 10 cards in your hand, including Bulma. You charge to go down to 9. You play Bulma to go down to 8. You activate Bulma's effect to go down to 7. And then you do whatever you need to do with the stuff that's already on the field. Like if you have a Vegito SER to double attack or whatever you need to do. Then you could do something like tap 3 to play Gohan. You go down to 6 cards in hand. You draw 1, you draw 2, you bottom deck. Then you swing your Goku leader. You draw 1, you draw 2, you bottom deck. You are still back at 8. And then at the end of the turn, Bulma's effect continues to draw, so you draw back up to 9. That's the math that this is able to go with, and it's actually really, really cool that we start seeing these effects. I would like more of these effects because I would like to be able to go down on cards on my turn and then shoot back up defensively. I think that is the way to make blue feel ferocious. Then the last card of this video is going to be Vegeta. And Vegeta is just interesting. He's not for any specific deck, but sometimes a blue deck could be more aggressive than others. Trunks could be aggressive while it combos. You could have Vegeta being aggressive. And this is a really cool card because this is essentially Kefla. This is Kefla in blue, which is a very aggressive type card in a color that's not considered aggressive. And then you're able to self-awaken. You have critical pressure. So being able to put these on the field multiple times and crit your opponent's life out from under them, and then be able to turn on the pressure with things like Haramaki on Trunks, with things like Vegeta's effect and the Bulma's. And yeah, now this is cool. Deny your opponent card advantage, come through with the strong late game. So I really love this card. So all in all, I think the support's looking pretty cool. The ones that make me happiest are probably going to be the Beerus 3-drop, the Goku 3-drop, Mighty Mask 2-drop, and the Vegeta 2-drop. I think everything is pretty cool here in one way or another, but I think for me, buffing Universe 7, buffing Beerus, buffing the Gotenks combo, and then giving blue more aggressive cards are probably going to be my favorite parts about this. I think Bulma, depending on how it can be used, could be a good addition, but blue decks tend to be so cramped already that it's kind of hard to justify fitting in an entirely just a random card that's supposed to bring your hand down, where most people would just probably rather aggress and combo forwardly to get their hand down or stuff like that. But it is cool that you can regenerate things on the on that phase. I would rather have a card that allows you to remove cards from your hand and then add them back at the end of the turn, you know, just kind of warp them out, warp them in, sort of deal like that. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know which cards you guys like the most and which ones you're excited to build with more. And I am going to come back here tomorrow with green and yellow, and then we still have more videos to go this week while I'm gone at Gen Con. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna have a ball, and I will see you in the next video. Later.